Welcome students, I am Rashmi Bore from the Great India School and today we are going to learn history lesson 4, the age of industrialization. Can you see the cover page of the two magazine? The first one is the Down to Century and the second one is the Two Magician. The Down to Centuries tell you that there is an angel of progress bearing the flag of the new century and is gently perched on the wheel with wings, symbolizing the flight is taking her into the future. Floating about behind her are the sign of progress, railway, camera, machine, printing press and factory. The second magazine, The Two Magician, Machines and Technology were glorified in England in 19th and 20th century through the pictures of cover pages. The Trade magazine and the picture of the two magician, Aladdin, is shown as representing the East and the past. Whereas you can see the motor mechanic there with the modern tools to build bridges, ships, towers and high-rise building, he represents the West and the modernity. So now you know what does the two magazines tell you. Now let's know about the age of industrialization. The history of the industrialization is all about development and technological progress. When there was no factory, in England, there was a large-scale industrial production for international market, and this period is referred as the proto-industrialization by the historians. So let's know about the period before the industrial revolution. In 18th and 19th centuries, the merchants started migrating to the countryside, supplying the money to the peasants and artisans, persuading them to produce for an international market. In the countryside, poor peasant and artisan began working for the merchants. Now they could remain in the countryside and continue to cultivate in their own small plots. Now what is proto-industrialization? Income from proto-industrial production supplemented their shrinking income from cultivation. This system helped to develop a close relationship between the town and the countryside. How as the merchants were based in the towns but the workers in the countryside. Cause of the expansion of the world trade colonies. Merchants, clothier in England purchased wool. From the wool, the stapler carried it to the spinners, fullers, and finishing was done in London. Export merchants sold the cloth in the international market, and all it was controlled by merchants, and the goods were produced by the vast number of producers. 20 workers were employed by each merchant. Now look, let's see how the factory came up. England came up the 1730s. Cotton production boomed in the 1900s, which ultimately led to the industrialization. In 1760, the Britain imported 5 million pounds of raw cottons, and in 1787 this import raised to the 22 million pounds. Can you see the picture of the spinning jenny in the 18th century? Yes, this is the picture of the spinning jenny in the 18th century. Let's know about the new words. What is the meaning of stapler? A stapler is a person who staples or sorts the wool according to its fiber. Fuller, a person who fulls, that is gathers cloth by plaiting. What is carding? The process in which the fibers such as cotton or wool are prepared prior to the spinning. So these are the few new words that you are able to understand now. Proto means indicating the first or the early form of something. Again, we will repeat the definition of the proto-industrialization. Even before factories began to set up in the England and Europe, there was a large-scale production in the industries for the international market. This was not based on the factories. Rather, this was based on the cottage industry, and this period was referred as the proto-industrialization by the historians. So these are the some of the pictures of the coming up of the factories. The Richard Arkwright created the cotton mill. The costly new machines could be purchased, set up and maintained in the mill. This allowed a more careful supervision over the production process, a watch over the quality and the regulation of the labor. Let's see the phase of industrialization change. What is the pace? That is means the different stage in which the industrial developed. The most dynamic industry in the Britain were clearly cotton and metals, growing at a rapid pace. Cotton was the leading sector in the first phase of industrialization up to 1840s. After that, the iron and steel industry led the way with the expansion of the railways in England from the 1840s and in the colonies from 1860s. This is a scene of a fitting shop at a railway workshop, garage we can say. This is the second phase of the history. The new industries could not easily displace the traditional industry. Less than 20% of the total workforce was employed in the technically advanced and industrial sector. Large portion of the output was produced not within the factories but outside with the domestic units. This is a spinning factory of 1830. This picture represents a spinning factory of 1830. Now we will see the third phase of industrialization. The pace of change in the traditional industries was not set by the steam powered or the cotton industry. Seemingly ordinary and small innovations were the basis of growth in many non-mechanized sectors such as food processing, building, pottery, glasswork, tanning, furniture making and production implements. The third phase change the tradition of industry was set up by the steam powered cotton or the metal industry. Now let's see the fourth stage. Technological changes occurred slowly. They did not spread dramatically. Occurred the industry. New technology was expensive and the merchants and the industries were cautioned about using it because it needs lot of capital for that. The machines often broke down and the repair was very costly. They were not as effective as their inventors and manufacturers claimed. Steam engine and James Watt. Let's know about the steam engine. James Watt improved the steam engine produced by Newcomen in 1781. His industrialist friend Matthew Boulton manufactured the new model, but for the years he failed to find the buyers. Thus, even the most powerful new technology took time to be accepted by the industrialists. This proved the worker in mid-19th century were the traditional craft person and laborers, not the machine operators. So children, now you came to know who made the steam engine. The Newcomen was the person who made the steam engine and James Watt patented it. Patented means he improved the steam engine. Now this is the hand labor and the steam power. In many industries, the demand for the labor and the seasonal gas workers and the brewers was specially busy through the cold months, so they needed more workers to meet their demand. Bookbinders, the printers, the caterers, the Christmas demand too needed extra hands before the December. And the waterfront winter was the time that the ships were required and spurred. In many industries, the demand for the labor was seasonal. Guest workers and the British were especially busy through the cold months. A range of product could be produced only by the hand labor. In the Victorian Britain, the the upper classes, the aristocrats, and the preferred the things produced by the hand. The handmade products came to symbolize the refinement and the class and the matter of aristocracy. They were better finished, individually produced, and carefully designed. Machine made goods were more export to the colonies. So, we have seen how the industries developed in the four phases and the progress and the development occurred in the world through the industries. In next module, we will see the condition of the laborers.